So welcome everyone today. Today on 12th November, coming to our second session on the first week on getting started, set up on your computer for the Arewa Data Science Fellowship. Let me just share my screen to show you some update we have and what we're gonna cover today. By the way, if you were able to set up your computer, do the installation, let us know. Let me create a poll so that maybe people can. All right. Okay. So let's go to our GitHub repository. Let's go to Arewa Data Science. So still, just a reminder for people that, were not here yesterday. We went through some of our content, what we'll be doing. And yesterday we started with initial setup, where we went through how you can set up your computer. If you are using Mac OS, you come here. If you are using Windows, you come here. If you are using Linux, you come here. For people that are using Mac OS or Linux, it's pretty simple. You just go here and follow the step, do some installation. It's pretty simple. For people that are using Windows, because Windows is not that quite good for development and data science, you need to do some installation. Unfortunately, yesterday, we forgot to record the session. However, we got some tutorial here to help people that are using Windows to set up their system. So today, what we will move on is to, go through what we call basic command line operations, where we will show you how you be able to use command line. Hopefully, you all set up your computer and you'll be able to follow along. So if you have your computer with you, open your computer and follow along as Dr. Idris is going through this session. But by the way, as well, we already informed you attendance is part of, having 90% of attendance in our session will move you to the next stage. So here, if you come here, we have attendance list. Here, attendance list. So one thing is, make sure your name that you join the Zoom is the name you apply into our fellowship, because we'll be using the name you join into Zoom link to automatically record your attendance. So if you look at this one, for example, yesterday, Umar Kri, he has 85, because this is the time we opened the session. And you can see, 100%, Sharif, with this, you can see some other people, we have not updated the time, we will update this one. So that means we will have an idea what time you come in, what time you left. Even if you come twice and left, we will sum up the time. Even if you come and go 10 times, we will sum up the time you have been in our session. So we'll sum up, and finally we will have, the total percentage of time you have been with us, and that will give you, if you have 90% of attendance, and that will, make you to move to the next level. So this is something that we want to make sure that you attend and follow along and you haven't missed anything. Because if you come today and next day you didn't come, you may mix the gap, and you fail to connect the pipeline, and you become so confused. So we want every learning step to be enjoyable along the way. And with this kind of consistency, if you are consistent coming up, then you will learn better. Right. So I will use this opportunity to call Dr. Idris. Dr. Idris will share his screen and will take us through this today lessons. Dr. Idris, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shamsuddin. Thank you for attending to this session also. I hope you understood what we did yesterday and you are able to set up your system. So without much further ado, what we'll be seeing today, as Doctor has introduced earlier, is to see some basic command lines. If you're familiar with writing commands on command line, then you are good to go to start executing Python codes, which you will write, you will have to install some libraries and whatever. So if you are used to this, you are just good to go. So I will share my screen now. Desktop 1. Yeah. So as we said yesterday, what you have to do first is to go to your terminal, and we've shown how to go to the terminal either through the applications folder or the launchpad and then others, and then you just click on terminal. Or if you have already fixed it to your taskbar, if we call it that in Windows, you just click on terminal and your terminal is open. So what we will be doing now is to follow through the guide here. So this is the second lesson, basic command line operations. So we click on command line and then we open. So why do you use command line? So some of the reasons here have been aptly cut by Dr. Shamsuddin. You need speed. If you actually need speed, you will use command line. There are some other applications that maybe will give you GUI access to most of this script or most of this command or whatever. They come with their own lag also. So what you do when you use command line is you have direct access without any intermediary between what you want to run and the computer is just waiting for you to run it. So it's a short speed automation also. You will see most of the Python codes that you will be writing are just automation of repeated things. So instead of whenever, let's say I want to sum or I want to create a report, let's say for Excel, instead of going to Excel, I have some Python libraries that I will just write, and whenever I run the code, it will just do all of the pre-processing, summation, or whatever for me in Excel. So you will see, and as you will appreciate the use of Python. So you can handle big data, you have access to tools and version control and whatever. Even though version control, you can have access to it via using either Git desktop or via using IDEs such as VS Code and whatever. But when you learn it on command line, you will appreciate it. So the next thing is, how does it look like? As we saw yesterday, we said we looked at command line, and we saw its difference from when you are using Windows. We said in Windows there is command line and there is what's the other name? PowerShell. So, and the difference between them and PowerShell is PowerShell, you have PowerShell. In here you have especially your username and whatever, as you'll see in mine. The username as Idris Abdul Mumin, and the name of my desktop is Idris MacBook Pro, as maybe it may look different in Windows and the rest. So this base is the environment that I'm working in. And you will see as you progress how to create a new environment, how to change environment. Because especially when you are running Python, sometimes you will create different environments for different needs. Python has a very huge problem that whenever you are trying to execute something, you install new applications. Some applications or some libraries, sorry, get corrupted and whatever. So it will be better for you if you are doing data science, you create an environment for data science. If you are just doing normal usage, you create a very lightweight environment for just your normal usage and the rest. So you will see all of these things. And so this will just look similar. It's just maybe yours will have somewhat different color. It might have black color. Let's see whether we can change the color here. If we go to view, bigger, here we can see bigger, edit. So I don't know, let's see what is show colors. Okay. So I can't bring it up head.
What
Changing
do
the
you
color.
want to do, Doctor?
Yeah, changing the color of my command line.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see.
So
Oh,
some will look black, some will look white, some will look whatever. So, oh, there is edit background color. Let me see. So as you can see here, you see here we are changing this. Yeah, so as you can see here, you can play along with whatever, and at the end of the day, you'll get the color. Some of you maybe might not like white light on their eyes, so you can change it to black, or you can change it to somehow ash or whatever. So this is just command line. So what we will be seeing today are some commands that will be executing to do some basic things, and you will see what we mean. So with open terminal, as we said, in Windows, you can press Control R. Control R will give you a place where you can type. And if you type in CMD, it will and press enter, it will open command line. So it's just like when you press on Windows Control R. Sorry, Doctor, what is Windows R? Yeah, so if you press Windows R on Windows, I'll start forgetting Windows, sorry. So Windows R, you can type several things, but when you want to open command line, you just type CMD and press enter, it will open. Or you can click on either your start menu or search for command line, which by just typing CMD, you'll see it, you just open. On Mac OS, I've shown you here, you can go to application utilities and then you can open, or application orders you can open, or launchpad orders you can open, or launchpad utilities you can open. Or if you like, you can press command space and it will give you spotlight, and here you can just type terminal, because on Mac it's called terminal. So, and terminal here, you see when you click on it, it opens. But as said, I've already fixed it to my dock. And when I just click here, it opens. So this is just simple. Sorry for all people that know how to do it already. But for people that don't know how to do it, I hope you are learning. So for Linux, you just press Control-Alt-T and it will just open. Or you just open, I think usually the menu bar for Windows here usually belongs in the top left-hand corner. When you click on it, it opens your application. You can search for, find the command line or terminal or whatever, and you open. So the first thing to do after opening command line is to know where you are. Usually, a lot of people will tell you that this code is not running, or it's saying error, or it doesn't see the file that I'm trying to run, or maybe the folder that I put in my data in the file is not finding it, because most at times it's because you don't even know where you are on the command line. So it's not that if I open, let's say, Finder, which is File Explorer in your own case, you see I can navigate and say, this is document, this is download, this is desktop, this is whatever inside here. Let's say I open a folder called Co here, and I have so now here visually I know where I am. So whenever I want to use this, I cannot say I'm not seeing the file I want, because I navigated it using using File Explorer or this. So on terminal or on command line.
Dr. Idris, can you
Yes, sir.
enlarge the terminal, the screen, like, it's so small, people, they said, yeah, something like that.
So let me not enter this, but also I think I can enlarge, make it bigger, or not this bigger. How do you oh, not this one.
Yeah, you can use this, like, so that you can use command tab, so that you can move to different windows you like. So when you open this one, you can use command tab to navigate through. You don't need to leave the dock there clean, but command tab allow you to. Yes, try command tab.
Okay, I think I will be doing like this.
Yes.
Okay. So can you see, I just wanted to even make this bigger.
Oh, you can do that as well. Use command tab plus, command plus, command
Okay,
plus.
plus. So thank you, Doctor. Yeah, so can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
More vividly?
Yes.
Okay, so to navigate, I'll just be going through here and here. So as I was saying, especially when you want to work, you have to know where you are. If you know where you are, then you can navigate to where you want to go to. So that's the first command that we are showing here, knowing where you are. So how do you know where you are? You type in the command print working directory, PWD. So immediately you put in PWD, it will tell you where you are. So where I am now is user/Abu Mafrim, which is the name of my laptop. So I'm in my root folder. As a user Abu Mafrim, I'm in my root folder. So now that I know I'm in my root folder, I can now navigate to where I want to go. Let's assume, yes, sir.
Yes, what does this base means?
Your
Okay.
question, sir.
Yes, I can see base, I can see Abu Maprim, Magbo, and some tilde. Can you explain like what they will be able to see also on their computer? Something related to this based on what you show on the GitHub, like yes, something like that.
So if I open this, the last login, the last time I was on this terminal, this is what is showing. It's on Sunday, November 12, 11:18. As you can see, the date time now is 11:22. So if I close this again and I open terminal again, it will tell me the last time that I opened this was November 12, 11:21:57. So if I close this again and I open, since it is 57, it will show me that it was 11:22:14. That was the last time that I logged in onto this terminal. So depending on your terminal, you might find something differently, but my terminal will show you something like this. The only thing that you need to look at to ensure that, yes, I am in my terminal, is seeing your username. It can be just username and then that's it, or it can be username at your computer's name, and then you will see this entry point. So, and if you type, it will start typing. Usually the best thing to do, or the first thing to do, is to even ensure that you are in here, is to type either print working directly or any basic command that will execute. If you are in PowerShell and you say print working command, maybe it will not work, maybe it will work. So, but knowing the difference between these two, knowing which command to run on which command, you just learn it by practicing, just by playing around with commands. Although we will come to see some commands that you have to be careful with, because you can start deleting your things without knowing necessarily what you are deleting. You have to be sure of what you are deleting and the rest. So, and we'll see some shortcuts also, especially by pressing tab, such that you may, if you just start typing the name and you press tab, it will give you either the various options of the same files that have the same name, such that you can be seeing them and typing, or if it is only one of it that is available, it will just autocomplete. And
okay. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Can you go back to the big screen and previous position that you are doing? Yes, so that we continue. Yes. Yes, so you can continue. Thank you for answering the question.
Yeah, sorry for even forgetting that I have to do this. So, and also you see me pressing clear, such that sometimes your executions can be that cumbersome that you don't need to be seeing them. So in Windows, you type CLS and press enter, it will clear the screen for you. On Mac, you type clear, it will clear the screen for you. Let's also try CLS to see whether it works here. So you see CLS on Mac is not a command that is found. So it's on Windows that you type CLS, meaning clear screen. In here, you just type clear, it will clear the screen and present you with only your username and also the entry point. So after knowing where you are, now you want to know what files or directories are available in that directory that you are in. We've already said print working directory, we know we are in user/Abu Mafrim. So what files are in users Abu Mafrim, such that I can navigate to those files or those directory or whatever. So the best thing to do, or the simplest command to type in here, is ls. When you type in ls, it will display what are either your files or your folders that are available here. You can differentiate file and folders, especially using this command by looking at the extension. So files here, as you see here, we have AfriCentLID data process.txt. You see this is a file, but all other ones that do not have extension are folders. So, but also LS have different options that can give you access to a lot of more information than just this basic information. There are also different ways of doing formatting. You can sort them, you can whatever. I've given the link to the full list of commands on the GitHub, but let's see some small of them as much as I can remember. So the first is ls. If you give in or -l, meaning you want a long list of them. So what will this look like? If you see, the first one displays only the names of folders and files that are present in user/Abu-Mafrim. The other one here will display additional information, including who is the owner, what group does the owner belongs to, what is the size of the file, what are the permissions that are available in the file, and whatever. So, and also we can see from here that if you look at what is here, directories will start with D. Directories will start with D, telling you that this is a directory. But also files, as you will see here, will start with files here will start with a dash, meaning it's not a directory, it's a file. But then there is another special one called L. L is a cloud storage, meaning if you see these folders, they are named Abu-Mafrim Google Drive, this email also Google Drive, meaning I've attached my Google Drive to my computer, so the folders are being synchronized. So you will see them here. So I think this might not be exhaustive, so you can look at it after doing maybe your different computers. You may have different files that I have, or different folders or different directories and the rest. So try putting in ls/l to see what will be in your computer. So this is one. You can also ls/t, meaning you want them to be sorted according to the time that it was last modified. I think there is ls, if you put in ls-1, it will give you one line display of all of these files, instead of like if you see here, what we have are two-line display of all of this. If you put -1, you see there is a difference between -l and -1. So you take the note, it will place each folder in one, and you can mix up all of these commands, and there are a lot of them. There is ls-a, meaning if you look at this, what it is showing you here, it's showing you only folders that are visible. You know, in your computers, you know, there are folders that if you see a folder starting with dot or full stop, then the name, it means it is usually hidden, especially on Windows. If you go to, I think, if you go to view, I think there is show hidden files, where if you click on it, you'll see show hidden files. If you go to file manager on Android, you can see show hidden files. In here, if you put ls-a, it will show you including the files that are hidden. You see before it only shows you these files, but now it shows you including files that are hidden. So there are a lot of options that you can explore. I've given you the list of options, and this is a safe command, so it will not delete anything for you. So you can try it as much as possible just to explore all of the commands or all of the options that are available using the ls command. So do we have any question before moving on? Or Dr. Shamsu, do you want to add anything?
Sir,
yes.
My question is that, sir, after installing the Python, instantly, am I going to see this page? Then I'm going to write ls, then press OK.
Okay, so I think there is a miss of there is lack of, I think, or there is some sort of misunderstanding here. Command line comes along with every computer. Every computer have command line or terminal, as in some computers it will be called, or shell, as some people will call it. Every computer have it. So if you have Python or you don't have Python, you still have this page. Do you understand? If you have a computer, you just open your computer, you have this page. The only difference that we showed yesterday was there are some commands here that will not run on Windows. So since they cannot run on Windows, that's why we showed some of the processes that you need to follow to install Ubuntu on Windows. And that will give you a command line, like just like this one, but instead of you not being able to run commands that are Linux based, that command line, even though you are on Windows, will allow you to run all of these commands that we will be seeing. So you don't need to install. I don't think we've even come to the stage where you need to install Python. Doctor, did we?
Of course, no.
Oh yeah,
we are talking about that working on the Linux, that is that command line on Linux, not talking about the Python.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we are talking about Linux, installation whatsoever. We'll come issue about Python, whether installation or how to run the Python next week, hopefully on the next sessions. But now it just, trying to show you what command line is and how to do installation, how to navigate. Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I forgot. I think yesterday we talked about installation of Python, but why we did that was to just make your computer ready for all of the tasks that you will be doing. But this, whether you install Python or you do not install Python, if you have this either Ubuntu on Windows, if you have a Windows machine, or just your basic command terminal or command line on Mac or on Linux, it will allow you to do this, even though you've not set up your Python. But yesterday's process, sorry, I don't know whether that was the thing that confused you, was to set up your computer to be able to run all of these tasks that we will be seeing. But here, this is just trying to show you that if you open your terminal, these are the commands that you may probably most commonly be using. So this is just what we are showing you. You will come to see Python, and when you really require Python, that you want to run a Python code or whatever, that's when Python comes in. But here, if you don't know all of these commands and how to use command line, even executing Python files will give you a lot of problems, as you will see when we are navigating through this. So I hope this clears everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now we know all of the files and directories that we are in. We have Android Studio project, application, desktop, document, downloads, libraries, movies, music, pictures, public, Zotero, and the rest. These are all folders. So as we know, most of our things do not usually get saved in the root directory. Sometimes if you download something from the internet, it will be in your downloads folder. Sometimes if you create a Word document or whatever, it will be in your documents folder. Sometimes on your desktop, you want to put in something such that you have easier access to it, you put it in your desktop folder. So where you save your thing, now you go to find it. Let's now work with the documents folder. Or if you like, let's say the desktop folder, such that whatever we create immediately, we can see it on the desktop. So how you navigate is CD, as I think it's the same throughout Windows, Linux, and Mac. Is CD, meaning change directory. You just want to move from this directory to another directory. So you just type in CD. And as you can see, we have this named desktop documents download. And now we say we are going into our desktop folder. So I will try the one thing, and then I will try the most appropriate thing to see whether it works, but not on all computers. It may work, even if it works on mine. Please mute. Our co-host, please mute.
So I would like to know the difference between the data -1 and -L.
Okay, so I said -1, what it does, you will get to know it much better if you click on that link that I give you and you practice. But for your question's sake now, -1, if you do not put -1, it will give you this on 2 lines, as you can see here. So half is on 1 line, half is on another line. If you put in -1, it will give you it on only 1 line. Do you understand? If you put in -L, it will give you additional information. So you see there is just only folder names and file names. Here it will give you the permissions, because if the permission here is not even right, sometimes you can click on a folder and a file or whatever, it will tell you don't have permission to view this or to modify. So this will tell you which of the permission you have. Then you have the who owns the file, which group the person owns the file, the size of the file, the date it was last modified, and the name and the rest. So that's just the difference. And then the last part of it will tell you the name of either the file or the directory that. So that's just the difference. So, but you will get to know a lot of them and get familiar when you practice. That's why I gave you the link, and most of those commands are in there. And I said ls is a safe command, so it will not delete anything. So you can use it as much as possible. We'll come to commands that are not that very safe, that you have to be careful what you do, such that you won't either delete or corrupt or your files or whatever. So that's just it. So now, as I said, CD meaning change directory. You want to go into another directory. So I will put in DES. You see, DES will start telling you that it's called desktop. So let me put in full desktop and put in enter. So you see, it tells me if I print working directory here, it will tell me that I am inside my desktop, even though I give in desktop with a small letter. In some operating systems such as Windows, it may tell you that you don't have desktop because desktop starts with capital letter. So I can come back. And how do you come back? You put in CD, then you put in ... meaning I want to go back to where I come from. Where I come from was user/Abu Mafrin. Then I entered into desktop. And let's say we can list the files inside desktop. And inside desktop, we have this. So, but let me make it shorter and list everything in there. So you see, there are a lot of files inside my desktop. That means clearly, yes, I am inside desktop. So now I can go back. I say CD ... Then that if you print working directory now, you'll see that now you are in Abu Mafrin instead of desktop. So here you can do list directory to see that, yes, you are in your previous place, or your previous directory that you left. So I can also type CD, meaning change directory. I will start typing DE. If you look at here, the only folder that is named that starts with DE is only desktop. So I can press in tab. If you press in tab, it will auto-complete it for you. Do you understand? So I can click in here. I can say print working directory. It will tell me now you are in your desktop. I can do CD ... meaning I come back. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm going into a directory and I'm coming out of the directory, coming out of the directory. Because if I have gone into desktop and I am inside that directory, I will now not have access to download library movies because I am not in the directory that contains all of this picture, public, Zotero, and the rest. So I hope you are following. So, but now if I say CD and then I type DO, if you see in here, we have folders that start with DO. We have document and we have download. So if I press in tab here, it will tell me which one do you want. As you can see before, when I press DE and I press tab, it gave me desktop directly without telling me that these are 2 options. But here I've started typing DO. So it will tell me there are 2 folders here that begins with the letters DO. So here I can type C and then type enter. You see it completes it for me. Or I can type W and press tab. It will auto complete it for me. So, Doctor, do you have anything to add here? Okay, so let's continue. So now going into let's go into our desktop, and then we are in desktop. And if we see in desktop, we have a lot of files, which some of them are here that we started. If you see, these are long. I think it starts from here. The recycle bin, on title, guidelines, whatever. So there are a lot of files here and a lot of folders. So this is going into directory. Now I know I am inside my desktop directory. So on the desktop, all of these files that are here are listed there. So let's find, let's say Hugging Face. There is a folder called Hugging Face and go here. So if we go here, we'll see there is a folder called go here. You see this is go here. And there is also Hugging Face. This is Hugging Face. So there is ICAT or whatever. So this will show you that yes, you are in the right place on your command line. So what I said first is when you open your command line, execute print working directory so that you know where you are. Then type ls so that you know what folders and files are already in that directory that you are in. So then you can start saying, I want to navigate into this or I want to navigate into that. If you are in a directory where you want to come out of the directory. So let's say you open PWD and PWD shows you, let's go back. PWD, this is how you open. After open terminal, this is, you type PWD, it will show you users / Abu Mafrim. So let's say you want to go back and see what is inside users, because now you are in Abu Mafrim, so you cannot view anything that is not in Abu Mafrim. So I can now go back. It will tell you now you are in /users. So if you type PWD, it will tell you now you are in users. You have gone out of Abu Mafrim. Do you see the difference here? So now that you are in users, you can put ls to see what is in users. So the only two folders that are in users are called shared and then Abu Mafrim. So now you can say cd Abu Mafrim, meaning I want to go inside Abu Mafrim. Then ls, you can see these are the folders that are in Abu Mafrim. Now cd desktop, I'm going into desktop. ls, I'm seeing the files that are inside desktop. So now we've seen how to know where you are, how to navigate to where you want to go to. The next thing to see is creation of files, directories, and whatever. Because sometimes you need to create a file. Sometimes you need to create a new folder. Instead of right-click, and after doing right-click, you say new file or new text file or new folder or new whatever. When you are on your command line, you can just create the file directly without any right click or left click or whatever. So if we go in here, you see we now are in chain directory. So file operation. So file operation here will give you various commands that you can follow to either create a new file, modify the file, or whatever. So but in here we are only showing you how to create a new file. If you have your command prompt, the Ubuntu-based command prompt ready, the command to type in is just touch, and you give it the file name. It just creates your file name. There is also another instance where, because if you put in touch new file.txt, what it does, it will create a new file for you called new file.txt, and the file is empty. And I will show you a way that you can create a file with some text inside the file already. So here you go to your command line. After all of this navigation, we now know that we are in desktop. So now we can clear the screen to start from the beginning. So we can just say touch new file.txt. Before saying touch new file.txt, let's list to find whether this new file.txt is already in. So you see, if you look at N, it's only note.txt that is available, because we say new file. So new file will start with small letter N. So you can just go to N to see that what you have only here is note.txt. So we can now see touch new file.txt. If you click on this, you'll see it has already created. So if you type in ls, if you go to notes, you will see near it there is a file called new file.txt. It has already been created. And since we are working on our desktop, you will see if we go here, if we go to N, where is N? Notes. Yes, you see file. It's called new file.txt. It has already been created for you, new file.txt. And how do you create it? You create it using command line, touch new file.txt. So now that we have this file, let's do something manual. Let's delete the file manually. We'll see how to delete it automatically. So now let's type ls again. You'll see that here we only have node.txt and the file is no more.
Doctor,
yes.
So you are using ls. So for Linux-based system, we are using ls, right? For Windows, we use dir, right?
Yes.
dir directory for Windows-based system. Do they have ls?
No, Windows do not have ls, but I was assuming that all of us have already installed Ubuntu on Windows, because if we are working with Ubuntu on Windows, it's better for you to know all of these commands rather than confusing yourself on which command to know or which command. And I think that's why we did yesterday's lesson.
Exactly. So you can move on. So somebody asked there. So even in Windows, because we did the yesterday Linux-based installation, the ls will work, right? So yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So thank you. So the other
for people that are using Windows, if you want to use the same command, with Linux, you can use git bash.
Yes, but we are not using git bash here. That is why we went through the installation for the yesterday. But yeah.
Yes, git bash will give you only the basic commands. There are commands that if you come to execute your real Python or whatever, you will see that they will not work, because git bash is only limited in its own ability to give you. So git bash will allow you to use pwd, ls, and whatever, but it's limited. So that's why we went extra effort. Instead of just saying install git bash, that will install, let's say, like in 2 to 3 minutes, and then you are set up. There are commands that will not work, especially if you come to start doing the actual work on machine learning, deep learning, data science, and whatever. So that's why it's safer and it's easier to go through the difficult process of setting GitHub on setting up Ubuntu on Windows, such that all of this will just be seamless. You'll just be working around without having any constraint or having any restriction on what you can execute and what you cannot execute. So I hope this clarifies some of the things. So the next thing to do is, we said you can just say touch new file.txt, and we saw that new file.txt was created. So let's do it again. Touch new, or let's call it empty file.txt. Touch empty file.txt, and you press enter. And if you say ls, if you go to E, you will see that there is empty file. So, and if you go on your desktop, since we are working on desktop, if you go to E, where is E, you see that there is a file called empty file. But there is another way. Sometimes you just want to create a file and you want to put in some text. So what you put in is just echo, and you type what you want to write. Let's say, I love Arewa DS, and then you tell it to save it in text file.txt. So if you see, there are some things here. The first one is called echo. Echo is the command, meaning you want to create a new text file called textfile.txt, and you want to save everything that succeeds echo, meaning I love Arewa data science. All of this should be saved inside textfile.txt. So, and if you click on enter, you'll see that yes, this has executed. If you type in ls, you will see that it's called textfile.txt, which is this, the last file. And if you go in here, sorry. Yeah, if you go in here, if we look at where is T text file.txt, T. Yeah, I think it's here. Text file. Can you help me find it? Task, signature, empty file, task 4. Oh, where is this? Yeah, there is text file.txt. It's here. Sorry, my things are not that serially arranged. So if you open it, you'll see that there is something called I love Arewa DS inside your text file.txt. So these are things that, apart from all of these basic commands that you have been taught, try to explore other things. There are a lot of other command lines that are just very simple. You see, instead of saying, now right click here and then new folder, you can create new folder, or in Windows, you can right click and you say create new file and you select what type of file. And after selecting the file, you open it. Now you write, I love Arewa data science. In here, as we said, it increases your speed. What you just do is type echo, I love Arewa data science, txt, and already this file has been created for you, and the text that you want to put in has already been put in for you. So as we told you, there is a lot of advantage of using command line, which you will get to appreciate a lot of it when you start working on this. So what we've shown so far is how to know where you are, how to go to where you want to go to, how to create a file. But it's not necessarily that we want to put in all of our files. Now we are working. If you see here, we have a lot of files here, and we'll continue creating file, maybe until a time where your desktop is filled or filled. Sorry, there is nothing called full, but filled up, sorry. So you may need to say you want to organize all of your things by creating a folder, and whatever you want to do, you put it inside that folder instead of putting all of it inside or on your desktop or inside your document directory or download directory or whatever. So the next command to put in is make directory, and you just call it your, so let's say Arewa data science, Arewa DS. We create a folder called Arewa DS. Here we are in our desktop, as we already know. There is no folder called Arewa DS. The only thing that even come close to Arewa DS is this Arewa DS attendance list. And this was a long, an old attendance list of Arewa DS cohort 1. So you see there is no folder called Arewa DS. So let's now say make directory Arewa DS. Now, if we list directory, we can see that there is a folder called Arewa DS. This is now a new folder that we've created called Arewa DS. So now we can change directory and go into Arewa DS. And if we list directory, meaning we want to see everything that are inside Arewa DS, you will see that there is nothing, because we just created it now and we've not created anything yet. So now we can create our new file called touch, new file.txt, and we say this. And now if we say ls, meaning list whatever that are inside Arewa DS, if you click, you will see that there is a file that we just created called new file.txt. And we can also do the echo. This is awesome. Save it inside let's call it text file.txt, and we say enter. And now if we do ls, you will see now we have two files. We have new file.txt, which is empty, and we have text file.txt, which is this. And now we can look at it vividly. We can go and find where is Arewa DS folder. Arewa DS, yeah, it's here. So Arewa DS, if you open the folder, you can see now there is a file called new file.txt that is empty. And also there is another file here. There is another file called tx, which is this is awesome that we've created. So you see now we've known how to create a folder that we can organize, And then we know how to create text files especially, but you can only also do, let's say, touch, print, print program. Let's assume you want to create a program, a Python program. As we said, Python files are just files that end with py. So if you want to create this, you don't necessarily need to create .txt. You can create .py, .txt, .css, .html, whatever. So now this is our first file that we want to write some program in it, such that we can write, we can print something out. So in here, you see, we'll just say touch print.this. If we list screen, you'll see that there is another file called printprogram.py. So now I hope you are following. So you can create a lot of files here just using this, instead of navigating all your way to see how can I create file, how can I put something inside the file. You can just go directly using your command line and just do this. So if we now will go back here. So the next one is you've created a file and now you want to delete it. So you can just write remove, which is RM, and you name the file name. RM, name the file name. So now here we have print program. So we said we can put RM, we can say PR. Instead of writing everything, we say we can print, we can press the tab key and then we can say enter. Now we've removed this file. If you type in ls, the file is no more in there because you've removed it. So we are in Arewa data science. Let's say we want to, we create a make directory, let's say folder, make directory call folder. If you do ls, you will see that folder is in there. So now you can remove folder, but let's see something, remove folder. So remove is meant to remove file only, not a directory. So if you want to remove directory, you have to tell it RM, I think it's R and then folder. You see, RM minus R folder, meaning you are removing the directory. But I think let's recreate this directory and try another thing. If you press in ls, you see folder has come back again. You can say RMD folder. You tell it now you are removing a directory called folder. If you put in ls, you see that folder is not there. So you can say RM minus R folder or RM minus D folder, and you'll see that your folder is no more there. But also there can be an issue where you want to create a folder inside a folder. So now in Arewa data science, let's say we create make, let's say make directory, you see what I mean? Folder slash, you know, when you want to say something is inside something in the path or in whatever the path, yeah, how it's indicated in path is this slash this, meaning this is the parent slash is the child slash is the next child or whatever. So let's say folder slash data. So you will see what this will result into. So it will tell you, because what it wants to create is it wants to create only folder, only data. But then it wants to place data inside folder, but folder is not available. If to say you've already created folder and folder is available and you tell it this, what it does, it will create data and it will place it inside inside folder, but folder is not available. So if you want to make sure that this works, you have to put in /p, meaning you want it to work recursively. It will create folder first, and then it will go ahead and create data. So if you put in ls here, you'll see folder is inside. If you do change directory folder, meaning you are going into folder, you press in change directory folder and you put in ls, you will see that data is inside there. And now you can go into data. And if you put ls, you'll see that there is nothing inside data, meaning you have a folder inside folder. And now let's visualize it on the desktop. So you see our first is Arewa data science. If you click on Arewa data science, you see it has already created folder. If you click on folder, you'll see there is another data folder called data. If you click on data, there is nothing because we've not created anything. And we can like quickly go and say touch test.txt and you put in enter. If you now go back inside, you see inside your data folder, which before is empty, there is a new text file called test.txt. So this is it. So how about now, if we come in here, we said you can remove folder. But let's now come out of this ls. We are inside folder directory. If we do cd, I'm coming, Abdurrahman, please. We come here, we say ls, you see you have folder, you have new file, you have .txt. So now how about if we want to now remove folder? You know now folder
Dr. Idris,
yes,
Dr. I don't know, some people say they cannot see what you are typing unless you type enter or something. I don't know what is the issue. Maybe also you can use command plus again to increase. I don't know.
Maybe it's because I'm typing fast. Maybe. So maybe there's delay in it.
You can use command plus again to make it bigger. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Can you see what I'm typing?
Right in the chat, if you can see Salis. Okay.
Okay. So sorry, please, whenever you have this sort of problem, please tell. And one of our co-hosts, please keep tracking of the chat to see whether there are problems, and we will get to rectify them here. So we said you can remove folder, which just remove directory called folder. What it will tell you now is directory is not empty, meaning you cannot just remove folder, because inside folder there are other directories. So the best thing to do, let's look at this. We said there is a remove directory folder, but also there is a remove with R folder. So if you press in here, you'll see now folder has been deleted. So that's what I want to show us, the difference between remove -R folder and remove -D folder. Usually, these developers or whatever that do this do not usually duplicate functions. So you cannot say rm-r is the same thing as rn-d. No, each of these, although they do a lot of things similar, but there is some things that one can do, but one cannot do, as we see here. rm-d folder will not remove a folder that is not empty. So if a folder is not empty, it will not be removed. rm-r, it means recursive, meaning remove any folder and everything that is inside folder means recursive. So that also we said, if you make directory folder, you can make directory folder. But if folder is not available and you want to create, let's say, a folder inside a folder inside a folder, you have to say make directory -p folder /whatever /whatever. Even if there are 10 folders inside folders, if you say mk directory -p, it will create all of those things, and it will be putting one inside what, and whatever. So this is how you do this. And this rm is not a safe command. So make sure that whatever you are doing, first create a folder and go into that folder. And whatever you can do everything since you are inside that folder. Don't go to your desktop and start doing rm. Sometimes you will delete files that you don't want to delete. I hope you understand this. So first, create a folder, which is, let's say, your playground. Here we created Arewa Data Science, called Arewa Data Science, a folder, and it is our playground. And whatever we are doing inside Arewa Data Science. Do you understand what I'm saying? Such that if we delete anything, we delete what we've created and we don't need it or we don't want to use it. So that's why it's safer for you here. Sometimes you can say remove and then mistakenly type something that is important. Let's say you say remove and you type up your master's thesis or your PhD thesis and then you delete it, and maybe you don't have any backup. So you see, that's why I said first create a playground. A playground is just a folder. Create a folder, cd into the folder, and then do your creation, deletion, listing, whatever inside that folder. So yes, Abdurrahman.
Assalamu alaikum. I actually don't know whether we have installed our Linux for Windows on our Windows. That's why when I type ls, I'm not seeing that document desktop and whatsoever. It is just showing me there is nothing inside there. I don't know
Have you
what was the
installed
problem.
Have you installed Ubuntu for Windows?
Yes, I installed Ubuntu for Windows.
Can you type pwd and tell me what it shows you?
Yes, I type pwd.
What is the output? As I did mine pwd, you see, it will tell me.
Okay, I'm in pwd. PWD, it is showing me /home/ Abraham Yusuf.
Okay.
That's what it is showing.
Type ls now.
I type ls. I see nothing inside.
Can you go to your, you are using Windows, right?
Yes, I'm using Windows.
Can you go to your file explorer and go into?
Yes, Idris, are we done? Do we reach to the last part of the session so that we can answer all the questions at the end? Let's quickly, because
so let's
okay,
let's quickly
no problem. Let's leave it until then.
Okay. So now the last part of it, which is the most easiest part of it, is now you've created a text file and you want to see what is inside it. You just type cat and then type the name cat, like in my earlier. So, and it will just show you. So here we can type ls, and in our ls, you see we have new file.txt and we have text file. You can type just cat new file, and we know that in new file, we don't have anything. So if you press enter, you'll see that there is nothing inside new file because it's an empty file. But if you type cat text file.txt, it will tell you that there is a text inside text file, and that text is called "This is awesome" because that's what we created. So as I said, if we say echo, I love Arewa DS, and you save it inside example.txt, and you type enter and you do list, and you see that now there is example.txt. If you say cat example.txt and you press enter, it will tell you that this is what you save inside cat, which is inside example.txt, sorry, which is I love Arewa data science.
How can I append a new text into the example.txt?
Yeah, so I don't know how to do append. Do you know? Can you tell us?
Yeah, so you can go back there. So. Because
Okay.
like now, what I'm trying to say now, can you go back? Can you write the same example you wrote, but with the new text?
Yeah.
With the new text and see what will happen.
Second lesson, and if you put print in cat, so it has replaced the text that is inside cat.
Yes. So if it does that, and you wanna, the issue is like you wanna append. So what can we do? Do you know that? Anybody knows that? So if you want to do that to append a new text, like so that it doesn't override the other one, what you can do is you can write the text right then in quote. Let's see what will happen.
Okay, so
no. In the same text, double, not here you use single, use double redirection, double redirection.
So second lesson. So now if we say cat example, so yeah. Thank you, Doctor, for this wonderful knowledge that now we've learned. So for one direction, which is like, let's say greater than sign or whatever, or left, whatever, yeah. So if you put in 1, it will override the text. If you put in 2, it will append. Thank you very much, Doctor. So this is the end of what is provided on the GitHub. As I said, there are a lot of other things.
Dr. Idris, can you go to the GitHub again? Yeah, can you refresh your GitHub repository?
Okay.
Can you go to the last? Okay, so here there is something that I added, Linux command line, a very basic course in Udemy. This is not mandatory, but if anybody is interested to take his learning experience command line based, basic command line, you can go and do some. This course is just like 5 hours, I think, or 4 hours. Can you click it, Doctor? The course, Linux command line. So you can see it in Udemy because it's highly rated. I can see 28,000 stars. So you can see it. And if you are interested in doing this course, reach out to us and we can give you access to Arewa Data Science account so that you can practice working with Linux. But if you have money, you can buy it with your money so that when you finish the course, you'll have certificate. But when we give you access, we'll give you access with our own account because Arewa Data Science has account with Udemy, so you can practice. So if you want to just practice, learn more, we will give you username and password so that you can go and log in and learn, but you will not get the certificate. But if you have money, I think it's somewhere 5,000, which is not good for other people to buy, then you can just practice and get. So reach out to us if you want to, but this is not mandatory. It's just optional for people that want to learn more. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And most of you that are here, you see how Doctor is very interested in you knowing a lot of things. So we are Doctor in our midst. Yes. So Doctor, if there is nothing to add, I think we can open for questions.
Yes. So it's question now. People can ask question. Dr. Abdraman, we can go on and get your questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Abdraman, have you opened your file explorer? Yes. Obia Nuju, I think we'll come to you. Don't worry. I saw your hand before. So have you opened your file explorer and find that there are files in there?
File explorer.
And go to what you said. Is it home?
Raise up your hand if you have questions so that we'll be calling you one by one. Raise up your hand so that we'll be.
You say I go to my file explorer?
Yes.
How can I go?
Folder, like folder, that's file explorer. If you click on folder, I think there is
it is not giving me that.
No,
he's not a Mac, so he's not aware of file explorer.
No, file explorer is Windows. I think Mac is what's it called? Finder. Yes. So file explorer is Windows. One yellow folder that you will be seeing. So
yes, I click on file explorer.
So we have a comment by
yeah, Doctor, I think he said /home. So /home is in the Ubuntu environment. You've not created anything inside that. If you say /home /Abdurrahman Yusuf, it means that you are in your Ubuntu environment, and Abdurrahman Yusuf is your username to your Linux core.
Yes.
Okay, so that means you've created that in new. There is nothing inside. You've not created anything already. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, I got it before I install Ubuntu. Before I have been using Ubuntu, but separately, not on Windows. Well, okay. Once I enter like this and put that ls, I used to see the file, some folders like document, documents, music, and the rest. All those directly I used to see them, but here I couldn't see any of them. I don't know whether it is Ubuntu or Windows.
It's a new environment. Usually when you install Ubuntu on Linux, what it does, it creates by itself a semi-virtual environment where you can do all of what you want to do. So now that you create it, it's empty. You've not created anything inside it. That's why if you click on ls or you type ls and put enter, you find nothing. What you now can do, now try doing touch file, a new file.txt, and now press ls.
That means that it is not giving me access to my actual Windows environment.
Yes, so far. I think there is a way you can do that. Let me see if you go in here.
Yeah, so just for example, for people that are here, to continue the discussion, some people will say, why do we need to use this command line? So from now on, in next session, we'll be using command line to do some installation, to do some other stuff for data science. So it's really important step for us to set up our computer, even the command line. It will be useful. So get these things done, set them up, because next week we'll just start diving into the details and technicalities that are involved. So it's a good idea for all of us to understand the basic before we move on, because it will be difficult for you to follow along if you miss some, steps that are needed to do some kind of installation. With this, I can say now we are 15 minutes on top of the 10th hour. So if everyone is, it's okay for you to leave now, and people that have questions, they can stay. But from now, we come to the end of the session. You can go, and our attendance stopped right now at 10:15. So anytime that, people that leave now is okay. So, but if you have question, you can stay and ask your question and we can respond to you. Thank you very much. And as well, let me drive this home again. So we do understand some people have some religious obligation on Sunday. We are sorry for keeping you today, but hopefully next week we will, change our time, maybe hopefully to 2 p.m. or somewhere around that. We will notify the fellows so that we will allow people to go for church and, other obligations. Thank you very much. So continue, Dr. Idris.
Yes, so before Obianuju, please, you see that there is this command that if you type in, it will open your file explorer for you such that you can find all of your files. But that will give you, what it's doing is it's creating an environment that is separate of your Windows, such that whatever you do, it's imagining that you are in Ubuntu already, which is a Linux-based machine. So please explore some of these things that we showed you, not only finish installing, but also run all of the other commands after installing to see some of these things, and you can also explore afterwards. So Obianuju, please. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, I notice there is a difference between RM minus R and RM minus D, and also RM minus R folder and RM minus D folder. That's the first question. Please help me differentiate so I can understand it better. And secondly, I want to ask, all this recording, do we have a channel in Telegram that you can upload it every class so that I and others can have access in every class? So you can go.
If you look at this,
yeah,
if you look at this, there is a link for recording here, such that if you come here, the lesson is command line, there is a link for recording, you see? So why we put in tutorial here is because we missed the recording yesterday mistakenly. But today's meeting is recorded. So if you click on here, you will see recording, which you can look after the class.
Can you show her our YouTube channel as well? Can you scroll up a bit? Down. Yes, YouTube.
Okay.
So you can see introductory session we had, the first introductory session 2.7 days ago, or 2.0 introductory session. So everything is uploaded in our YouTube channel. So if you miss any session, you can follow along.
Yes, and that link that you will see will just take you directly to that video of that,
exactly that date, that session.
Yes.
Okay, please help me on the first question.
Yes, so the first question, sorry, I even forgot, sorry. So the first question was, we showed you that using RM minus D, you can delete a folder that does not have anything inside it. So if the folder is empty already, you can just say RM-D folder and it will get deleted. But if you have anything inside it, if you have a file or another folder or whatever, you have to use RM minus R. Sorry. So you have to use RM minus R if that folder is not empty. That's why I said, to make everything safer, you create a playground called, let's say, in this instance that I did, Arewa Data Science, and we've created folder, whatever, such that you don't be in, let's say, user/Abu Mafrim, where your entire desktop is, and you say RM minus R desktop, and all of your things on desktop gets deleted. So the difference between RM minus D folder and RM minus R folder is RM minus D folder will delete a folder that does not have anything. If it has anything inside, it will tell you an error. Directory is not empty. But if you still want to delete a folder that has something inside, you have to use rm-r. So rm-r will delete a folder that is empty and a folder also that has anything inside it. But rm-d can only delete a folder that has nothing inside it. I hope you understand.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Doctor, who is the next?
Nana Firdaus. Nana
Okay, Nana.
Firdaus.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to ask about the gate up. I don't know how to navigate around it. Anytime I enter, I won't be able to. Like when I was looking for the setup stuff, I wasn't able to reach the location.
Okay, doctor, I think it's your own question. How can she navigate to through
Yeah,
the
so next week we're gonna learn how to create GitHub account, install it and whatever. But right now, Idris, you can share your screen. Anybody, even if you don't have internet, if you don't have the GitHub account, when you move on to this session, you come to this where we house everything. Any link you click, it will take you to designated resources. So for example, Doctor, if you can scroll and go to Windows, yeah, you can scroll down.
See, all of this link will be taking you
yes,
in
maybe
there.
yeah, you can go to our today's session. So yes, so you can click. So when you come here, just click. Just clicking will take you. Nothing difficult. Just go to this repository. It's shared in the chat. Just click, it will take you to respective places. Even if you are not registered on GitHub, yes.
Okay, sir. So I wanted to ask when we are starting our 30 days of Python.
Yes, so the 30 days of Python start next week after we introduce you to BS Code and other stuff. So next week, hopefully it will start next week, Monday, yes. So
okay,
because we are getting you started to everything, set up, so that everything is in good shape. Hopefully 30 days of Python start on Monday.
And also
not this coming Monday, next week, what can I say?
Next Monday, not this
next Monday, yes.
Okay.
So to also buttress this, you will see that sometimes you will say, yeah, let me start 30 days, let me start 30 days. But another person will be telling you that I have not set up this and that and that and that. So what we want to ensure here is, and luckily for us, some of you have already finished the process of Ubuntu on Windows and whatever, after you follow all of this process. So if you start Python, 30 days of Python, you will just be going without necessarily having this logjam of not being able to install or not being able to set up and whatever.
Yeah, another step is can you go back again, sir? People should go and register for Python for learning how to learn course. Yes, this course. Yeah, down. Yes, this one. So the first thing is go to Coursera, which we already mentioned this. This is a course. Doctor, can you go back again? And register for this course. This course is not free, but you can apply for financial aid. This is a video to watch how to apply for financial aid. So you need to start this course and finish it, and finish this course and share the certificate before you move on into the next step, data science.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Hey, here's a video on how to apply for financial aid on Coursera.
Yeah, so this is it. So that's it. So you can go and start, learning this, learning how to learn, register it, and get set up your computer. And that's what you're gonna do during the week. And hopefully next week when we come, we'll now do GitHub setup, and video BS Code setup. And now on Monday, we can just dive into Python stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you have any question, reach out to us. Yeah, and also we have what we call mentor mentees. Idris, can you scroll up? Yes, can you? Yeah, mentor mentee page. Yeah, so you can see here we have mentors and mentees. So if you can search up your name and see who is your mentor. If you have any issue, reach out to your mentor in the Telegram. We can also put their email address. I'm not sure. so that they can help you along if you have any question. So you can see each team, we name the team, for example, Obapemi, Melo, Inamanda Azukwe, and you can see the mentors, right? Ahmad, these are some of our fellows that finished the first cohort, and they had some experience of installation and Python. They can help you. But we are also here to help you. So if you have any issue, you can reach us, everyone in the Telegram. Thank you. Jonathan.
Yes,
Jonathan.
good morning.
Morning.
Yes, yeah. I'm presently on my terminal now. I did PWD, then LS, and I can see some folders, the directories there. Try to change directly to home, worked. But when I try to create a new file using the touch command, it will now tell me something like permission denied. I don't know if
because you want to create a file in home. Usually home is meant to be used by persons that, one, you know what you are doing, but especially for the computer, such that you don't go and delete or create something that is not meant to be there. So if you can go back to home and now create the new file, it will definitely allow you to do that. But also, if you insist on either modifying or deleting or creating a file where you are not supposed to do, also other commands that you can learn, that you can change the permission, or you can change the owner, or you can change the group of either that file or that folder, such that you can do edit. So especially if it tells you that you don't have permission, don't try again. Just go to another folder or another file. So go back to home/your username and try to create that folder or directory in that place and see what will happen.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And also, please, if you have any issue, the first thing in computer science or data science or programming, anything in general, is for you to get help. Just Google is the first thing you should do. When you have any issue, learn how to go to Google, Stack Overflow. Even we as well, that's the first thing we do every day, every time. That's where our first stop. Just Google and see, because you cannot know anything, and as well, doing that will help you to understand best way to ask question and to solve problem yourself. So when you have some issue, try to go to Google, try to find the answer. If it prove abortive, you cannot find the answer, then you can reach out to other people, because trying to find the answers yourself, you gain other knowledge along the way. Oh, this is it, something like that. Yeah. Ibrahim Abdullahi Aliyu, go on your question.
Okay, thank you. So on the learning how to learn, I've applied for the financial aid, but I cannot start the course. Is that how it's supposed to be? Because I heard some people mention that if you apply for financial aid, you can still start the course. But when I try that, it tells me that if I want to start the course, it will cancel my application for the financial aid.
Okay, Lukman, can you give us answer regarding this? Or Lukman or Abdul Jalil? You guys, Lukman.
Okay, sir. So while applying for financial aid, immediately after the application, you have to click on auditing the course. So if you can audit the course, you can begin to learn everything, but you can't submit graded quizzes until they approve the financial aid. But if you leave the page and you go back to just enroll into the course, it will cancel the application. So if you are not able, we didn't click on audit after, then you need to wait for the time. It's just 2 weeks.
Okay,
And, thank you. I think this information is very vital for
yes,
others.
we'll add it in the page. Yes, we'll add this information in the page so that people can, stop asking this question. Lukman, you are in the same page. You can add this information on. Can you scroll Dr. Idris on the learning how to learn? Yeah, scroll down. Yes, so maybe how to apply financial aid. Maybe immediately after this table, Lukman, you can add information about this.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So any question? Okay, so I think a lot of people have asked question and they got some response, which is good. Thank you very much, Dr. Idris, for taking us today, this session. Sharif Olake, ask your question. The last person to ask question.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, so we cannot hear you. Let's move on to the next one. Rabi Usman Sani. Rabi Usman Sani. Okay, somebody was asking Halimat, how can we get the Linux Udemy username and password? So we will share the username and password in the Telegram channel in the cohort 2 so that you can have access to that. Okay, so thank who is that? Okay, Ravi Usman Sani, ask your question, the last person.
You have to unmute before you ask.
You have to unmute yourself. Okay, so I think we are done today. Thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate your patience to do all this time, and thank you about that. So if you have any question, please follow along with your questions in the Telegram channel, and we're happy to jump in and answer your question. Bye bye for now, and inshallah we'll upload the recording for today. And if you are interested in taking your terminal experience to the next level, try to complete the course in the Udemy will share. Thank you very much, and have a nice weekend, and see you next week, inshallah.
Thank you, Dr. Shams. Thank you, Dr. Idris.